Okay, new type of story problem. You have a 10 by 9 foot garden. If you add a uniform walkway around the garden, the area is 306 square feet. Find the width of the walkway. Now, this isn't about a path. It's not about a graph, so we're not going to make those boxes on the sides like we have been. Okay, this is a new type. You're finding the dimension, feet. So here's what I do first. I draw a picture. Anytime they're talking about shape, I don't see a picture, I'm going to want one. Doesn't have to be giant, though. You don't want to make a giant. You have a garden 10 by 9, but you're building a walkway around the outside. So from here to here is 10, and then x, because that's what I need to figure out is the x, okay? And then we have 9x and x. Okay, so now what I do is I split the problem into two parts, okay? It tells me the area, and the area is 306, okay? Now, how would I get area out of a rectangular shape? By taking the length times the width, okay? So I better go up here and multiply my length times my width. But they're talking about the whole thing. It's not just 10 times 9. This would be 2x plus 10, because there's two x's. This would be 2x plus 9. Now multiply that out. 2x times 2x. FOIL it. 2x times 9. 10 times 2x. And 10 times 9. So this is 4 with x to the second. That's going to be 18 with x. It's 20 with x. And that's 90. Okay, so blank x second plus blank x plus blank, and I have 4. 18 plus 20 is 38, and then I have 90. So that's my length times my width, 4x to the second plus 38x plus 90. So now it's time to solve the equation. It has two solutions, but it's not set, so we subtract 306, and I can subtract that from the 90. Those are both constants. So that's 4x to the second plus 38x. 90 minus 36 minus 306, and that's negative 216. So now I have three terms, okay? So GCF and table. And when we make our t-table, we definitely want to pay attention to what the a is equal. Okay, I don't have a negative. I don't have x on everything. Now, 1's not the smallest number this time, so I need to take my 4. And 4 is 1 and 4 and 2 and 2. By the way, on all these problems, it's going to be 4. So now see if these are all divisible by 4. Well, I know 4 is. 38's not, so we can't use 4. Now, how about 2? Well, I know 4 divides by 2. That's why it's on the list. How about 38? 19. Okay, 108. So 2 is going to work. So put 2 here. GCF's 2. No x on that. Then I divide all these by 2. So that's 2x squared plus 19x minus 108. And my a is 2x to the second. Okay, so 2 times negative 108 is negative 216. So that's a minus trying to get to 19, which is positive. Okay, that does not minus to 19. Divide by 2, 108. Doesn't minus to 19. Okay, 216 divided by 3 is 72. 72 minus 3 is not 19. About 4. 4 and 54. 54 minus 4 is not 19. 5, I get a decimal. 6 and 36. 36 minus 6 is not 19. Decimal. 8 and 27. What's 27 minus 8? Oh, 19. Okay, so it'd be plus on 27, and a negative means they're opposite, so minus on 8. So it's these two. Now, A is not a 1, so it's a 2, so we need 2 sets of parentheses here. You can't get by with just XX if it's a 2. So 2x minus 8 plus 27. Now, these are both even, so they'll divide by 2. So 1x minus 4. Then 2 and 27. Now, to divide by 2, that's odd, okay? So we can't. Okay, so that'll stay 2x plus 27. Now you had a GCF of 2, but that does not have an x with it, so it doesn't get an F label. F1, F2 is just those two. Okay, so 1x minus 4 could equal 0, or 2x plus 27 is 0. Dot and circle, dot and circle. Plus 4, that's 4. You don't need to divide by 1, it's still 4. Then minus 27, so 2 times x is negative 27. Now this is a story problem, so we don't want fractions, okay? So negative 13.5. So the positive one's the real answer, 4 feet. So all these x's are 4 feet. You can check your answer. 10 plus 4 is 14, plus 4 is 18, times 9 plus 4 is 13, plus 4 is 17. So what's 18 times 17? It better be 306, and it is. Okay, we're going to go over 3 more. Okay, talking about a shape, and our job in the shape is to find the inches, okay? So you put what the unit is, and you draw the picture, okay? It's not hard to draw, 8 by 6, and they're building a wooden uniform border around the outside. So we know the centerpiece has a length of 8, and then x and x. And this has a width of 6, x and x. So split it in half, and you have an equation because you know your area is 120. So I know that's got to be the length times the width. But what is the length times the width is the question. So I multiply that out. So 2x plus 8 and 2x plus 6. Multiply that out. 2x by 2x, 2x by 6, 8 times 2x, and 8 times 6. Okay, 4x to the second, 12x, 16x, and 48. Combine like terms. You got 4 for x to the second, you got 28 for x, and you got 48 here. So you know your length times your width is 4x to the power of 2 plus 28x plus 48. Okay, so the equation has 2 answers. It's not set though, so we minus 120 and take that away from the 48. So 4x to the second plus 28x. Positive 48 minus 120 is negative 72. So that's 3. Now I know my 3 terms. I know there's 3. I know what they are. So GCF and my table. Now negative in front, nope. By the way, your chart's not going to help you. Okay, you have to do it the old-fashioned way. X on everything, nope. Okay, 420 again. 4 is your smallest. 1, 4, 2, 2. So I know 4 divides by 4 does 28. Oh, yeah, it's 7 to 72. Yep. So I use 4 this time. So that's 1x to the second plus 7x minus 18. Okay, and your A is 1x to the second. I'm glad I have a 1 because I can get rid of the 1. Okay, so ABC. 1 times negative 18 is negative 18, so that's a minus to get to 7, which is positive. Nope. 9 minus 2 is 7. Okay, so we got it. 9's plus, 7's minus. Okay, I have x to the second, so I just need 2 this time. X minus 2 plus 9. Now you did have that GCF of 4. Pull that down. But it doesn't have x, so the F labels take place on these. So x minus 2 equals 0, or x plus 9 is 0. There's nothing to do with the 4. It doesn't have an x. If it had an x, I'd be using it. So 2 and negative 9. So 2's the one I want to put. Now to check your answer, 8 plus 2 is 10 plus another 2 is 12. Then 6 plus 2 is 8 plus another 2 is 10. 12 times 10 is 120. Right on cue. That's how to check the answer. Okay, this one's a miserable one. A rectangular pool has dimensions of 40 by 20 feet. A uniform border is added around the walkway, creating area 1,125 square feet. Find the width of the border. Okay, so again, feet is going to be the answer. So here's my thing. We got 40 by 20. Now the centerpiece is, I know, 40, but I don't know the border. Okay, so that's 2x plus 40. That's 20. That's 2x plus 20. Okay, so I split it in half, and I know the area is 1,125. Now, how do they get that? Well, by taking the length times the width. But I got to find the length times the width. So I have 2x plus 40 and 2x plus 20. Then multiply that out. I don't want those parentheses there. And then 2x times 20, 40 times 2x, and 40 times 20. Okay, so we have 4x to the second, 80x, or 40x, my bad. This is 80x, and then 800. Collect like terms. After you multiply, you got 4. 40 plus 20, 80 is 120, and then we have 800. So the length times width was 4x to the second plus 120x plus 800. Okay, two answers, but the equation's not set. So I minus 1,125, and then I subtract that from 800. Okay, 800 minus 1125 is negative 325 equals 0. Now I know there's three terms and I know exactly what they are. So GCF and the table. Okay, negative in front, nope. X on everything, nope. 4, 120, and 325. Okay. Well, 4, 1, 4, and then 2 and 2. Okay, divide 120 by 4, that works, but 325 divided by 4 is decimal. Can't use 4. Now try 2. 120 divided by 2 is 60. 325 divided by 2 is decimal. See, that leaves me with 1, and when it's 1, don't do it. Okay, so I take A times C. Positive 4 times negative 325. I got negative 1,300. Okay, so that's a minus, trying to get to 120, which is positive. Okay, 1 in 1,300 obviously ain't it. I'll divide 1,300 by 2. You get 650. 650 minus 2 would be 648. Divide by 3, decimal. Divide by 4. 4 and 325. 325 minus 4 is 321. 5 and 260. 260 minus 5 is 255. Decimal. 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 10 and 130. What's 130 minus 10? Oh, I think that's 120. So we got plus 130, and a negative means they're opposite. Okay. Now my A is 4x to the second still. Okay. So obviously I can't delete the 4. So I need to make two sets of parentheses. So I go 4x, 4x, and then the minus 10 plus 130. Now, 4 and 10, well, look at their factors of 4. See, well, you can't divide 10 divided by 4 is a decimal. So we know we can divide by 2. That's 2x minus 5. Okay, 4. Try to divide 130 by 4. Didn't work. Try to divide it by 2. Okay, I did. So I divide these by 2, and that's 2x plus 65. Now, you didn't do a GCF, so these are your only factors. Now, I set them equal 0. 2x minus 5 could equal 0, or 2x plus 65 equals 0. Plus 5, I'm at 5, so 2x equals 5. Then divide by 2. If I divide by 2 is 2.5. Now, this is a story problem, so I want the decimal. That's negative 65 divided by 2, and that's negative 32.5. So I think 2.5 is probably the right answer. Now check your answer. We have 40 plus 2.5 plus 2.5. It's like 5, so that's 45. And then we got 20 plus 2.5 plus 2.5. I'm guessing it's 25. Yeah. Now take 45 times 25. Okay, that's exactly the area that it says it is in the problem.